Naira notes redesign. New Naira notes now in circulation. Is it actually a redesign? What is new about the redesigned Naira notes? Buhari flags up the first ever oil field in the north. This is our discussion today. Let's talk more on these issues. In October 2022, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, informed the Nigerian people about the plan to redesign the Naira notes, a decision taken mainly to retrieve the excess money in circulation. The CBN claims the money in circulation is 3.2 trillion naira, and the money outside of the banks is 2.7 trillion naira. Hence, the need to redesign the Naira notes and mob up the excess money in circulation. Yesterday, the 23rd of November 2022, President Muhammadu Buhari unveiled the new Naira notes, which got Nigerians talking again. Here is the unveiling. Watch.
There was an urgent need to take control of currency in circulation and to address the hoarding of Naira banknotes outside the banking system, the shortage of clean and fit banknotes in circulation, and the increase in counterfeiting of high-denomination Naira banknotes. It is on this basis that I gave my approval for the redesign of the 200 Naira, 500 Naira, and 1,000 Naira banknotes. While this may not be apparent to many Nigerians, only 4 out of the 54 African countries print their currencies in their countries, and Nigeria is one. Hence, a majority of African countries print their currencies abroad and import them the way we import other goods. That is why it is with immense pride that I announce to you that these redesigned currencies are locally produced right here in Nigeria by our Security Printing and Minting PLC. The new Naira banknotes have been fortified with security features that made it difficult to counterfeit. These new banknotes will help the central bank design and implement better monetary policy objectives. I am delighted now to officially launch the 200 Naira, 500 Naira, and 1,000 Naira banknotes.
It's been almost 20 years since the Naira note was last redesigned. Constitutionally, the exercise is supposed to happen every 8 years. What delayed it this long, nobody can explain. You heard Mr. President praise Nigeria for being among the only 4 countries amongst the 54 African countries that prints its Naira notes locally. He said the other 50 African countries print their currency abroad and import it. Now the question here is, since we print locally, how much did it cost us exactly to redesign the Naira notes this time? We'll get to that later. How did Nigerians react to the new Naira notes? I will show you just one reaction that explains every other reactions from Nigerians. See the photo on your screen. That photo is the sum total of all the reactions from Nigerians. CBN would have just saved us the stress and tell Nigerians the colors to blaze the Naira notes with. Everyone would have done that and would save more money for the country. We were expecting a total redesign, not recoloring. The presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Sowore, also reacted to the new Naira notes. Hear what he said. Watch.
It's never, I've read all the economics books in the world, and never in any book or any policy have I found the changing the outlook or the face of any currency that brings the currency to any value. It's just a contract for the boys, and I congratulate those who got a contract for, making this happen. they're lucky. The rest of us know that this was a scam.
I mean, this is not the first time. So when you're saying it's a scam,
see, let me tell you, I was around in 1984, if I am correct, when the naira was that time. I think it was a redesign. It was Buhari regime in military uniform, and the people that benefited from it were still the rich people. The poor people queued up with 200 naira, 40 naira. The person who had the largest amount of currency in my village was 40,000 naira in those days. And when he brought it out, everybody was like surprised that he had so much money. But by the time the redesigned naira was given to him, they had reduced the value, the amount of money he had because of corruption. That's the first time I knew that even that regime was a scam, because the people who carried out the exchange of the naira, the new notes and the old notes, were just making a killing out of it. So it ended up enriching people, not enriching Nigeria. Value the naira, not redesign.
How would you do that? Well, what does it mean?
There are macroeconomic policies for people in the executive sector and the central bank. And, the central bank is naturally supposed to be in charge of monetary policy. But one of the things they are doing there is that, as I have said, the Central Bank of Nigeria of today is just a glorified bureau de change, where if you have connections, you can get dollars and exchange for naira at a special rate. That is not monetary policy. Monetary policy is looking at the value of your currency, how it's performing against all other currencies around the world. In the US, you also know that when it got to a point, they were planning to make a law. I don't know if they eventually made that law, which is there was a reduction in Inflation Act kind of law that they were pursuing, because they were concerned about not just elections, but they were concerned about the ability of their citizens to cope with the inflation rate. And they started adjusting a number of things, not just a law that says inflation must remain at this point, but they were also concerned about employment, they were concerned about production, they were concerned about losses, and they were also concerned about the manpower running the economic affairs. So these are issues that you get from leaders who are concerned about the welfare of the people of a country, not the design of the naira, which cost us 218 billion naira. We could have given that money to ASU so that we can start from somewhere. They can call off this strike conclusively.
Wow. Sowore said devaluing the naira notes would have been a better option by the CBN, who has now become a glorified bureau de change, instead of recoloring the naira notes in the name of redesign. And again, something did not add up here. Sowore said the redesign cost Nigeria 218 billion naira, and Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari said the redesigned naira notes was produced locally. So, how come it cost 218 billion naira to recolor the naira notes? This does not add up, or does it? I'll leave you to answer that question. Finally, Buhari flags off an oil field in the northern part of the country. Take a look at this. Watch.
The successful discovery of the Kolmani oil and gas field by NNPC and her partners has finally broken the jinx record by confirmation of a huge commercial deposit of hydrocarbons in Kolmani river field. This discovery had emanated from our charge to NNPC to re-strategize and expand its oil and gas exploration footprints to the frontier basins of Anambra, Dahomey, Sokoto, Benue Trial, Chad, and Bida basins. We are pleased with the current discovery of over $1 billion of oil reserves and 500 billion cubic feet of gas within the Kolmani area, and the huge potentials for more deposits as we intensify exploration efforts.
The Kolmani oil field is situated at the border between Gombe and Bauchi states. The oil field is expected to produce 120,000 barrels of crude oil per day. As at today, Nigeria does 1.6 to 1.9 million barrels per day in the south, and 80% of this production is stolen. Who are the thieves? We do not know. Now, the North is expected to start off with 120,000 barrels per day. How much of it will be stolen at the end of the day? I'll leave you to answer that question. President Buhari said the oil field is a $3 billion discovery. The question again is, will this discovery be a blessing or a curse in disguise? You can take a clue from what is happening in the Niger Delta as regards the question I just asked now. In conclusion, let's make 2023 memorable in the history of our democracy. Make sure you vote in next year's general elections. I'll see you tomorrow.
Please subscribe to this news channel. Let me be your news blog, and I'll keep you updated.